Everyone, it's Angela. This is only the second video blog that I've done before, so I'm apologizing ahead of time because I know I'm going to be very awkward and I can't re-record this one. So the point of this video blog is that I'm always telling people how they should eat healthy and, you know, all natural, and I guess it's just a given that I think that people know how to cook. And one of my friends today said to me specifically that, yeah, you can eat healthy because you know how to cook. And I thought, I guess people, you know, have that problem. They have to depend on processed foods, and they really honestly just never learned how to cook. It's not their fault, it's just they never had the opportunity. So we had a discussion today about how easy it is and how you can just throw something together, and he doesn't know how to do that. So I figured I would make a video blog to show you how quickly I make dinner at night, because I am too lazy to do a long, drawn-out meal because I just don't feel like it. And if I didn't know how to cook quickly, I probably would eat processed food because I just wouldn't feel like it. So as you can see, I'm already cooking. I started some farro before I started the video because it takes about 15 minutes, and I didn't want to torture you guys listening to me for 15 minutes while that cooked. So I'm just adjusting the temperature. It needs to simmer. So I had it already, it came up to a boil, almost overflowed. That's why I had to get there quickly. So tonight I am making shrimp and veggies and farro. That's it. That's, I guess you could call it shrimp cacciatore. You could give it a fancy name, but it's shrimp and veggies. That's all it is. So I already have my ingredients out so that I didn't have to waste that time also. And I already have the pan and everything, but I haven't started anything but the farro. So the first thing I'm going to do is get my shrimp from the freezer. Yes, they're still frozen because I forgot to defrost stuff, so usually fish is my go-to because it doesn't taste bad when you cook it from frozen. So specifically shrimp. Anyway, as you can see, I already measured it out and put it in my little measuring cup here. I'm going to tilt you down. So my pan's already on the stove, but it's not even on. I'm just going to put some olive oil so that my shrimp don't stick, because there goes the farro again. Because they will stick since they're still frozen. So I don't even put that much, just a little drizzle. I'd say it's maybe a teaspoon. You can measure it if you want. I can't be bothered. Like I said, fast and easy. I don't want to be bothered. So I'm going to turn this on to about medium heat. I have electric here. At home I have gas. It's tricky trying to figure out which one's which. You know, where is medium on a gas stove? You'll live and learn. You'll burn some things. You'll get used to it. So my oil's in there. I'm just going to throw my shrimp in and kind of swirl it around so that way the oil coats all the shrimp. And it's on, like I said, it's on medium. I'm going to throw a lid on it. That's it. Walk away. So while that's doing that, gotta check. I'm not doing well on the farro today. So while that's simmering, I'm just going to cut up some veggies. And some people asked how I chop things on my chopped blog the other day, so I'll show you. I've got different veggies here, mushrooms. I've already washed them. I have a very sharp knife. I don't know if you can see my finger there. That's from a couple weeks ago. Yeah, so be careful if you have a very sharp knife. So I just kind of, you know, I'm a scientist, so I like things in order. I don't like to be haphazard. My husband loves to chop his veggies in all different shapes, and it drives me crazy. So the reason that you chop them, though, about even is because you want them to cook all at the same rate. So the only reason I waited to do this is because if I did this before the shrimp, I would just be sitting around doing nothing right now. So while the shrimp is cooking one side, I'm doing my veggies, so I don't have to waste any extra time. So pepper, easy. You just peel out the top like that. And usually this one doesn't have a lot of seeds. Sometimes I'll bang it out on the counter into the trash can or whatever to get the seeds. Like, see, there's the seeds, so I just shake it out. So those go in the trash. Since I'm making shrimp and veggies, I want to be able to stab these with a fork, so I'm just going to slice these. If I were to chop these for my salads like I did this morning, I would do this and then turn them and then dice them into really little pieces. That's all I do for my chopped salads, as tiny as I want my pieces. So it's not that hard. I mean, I have a fancy chopper. It's in the drain board right now. I tried to use it this morning and it just made mashed little pieces and annoyed me, and I'm much better with a knife. So that's all I'm going to do with those. Put them aside. I have some onions that I used for a different recipe. They're already somewhat cut up, but I want little slices, so I'm just going to cut those. Maybe pull them apart because you don't want to get a giant onion chunk when you go to take a bite. See, now the Farrow's just not agreeing with me today. It's now down too low. It's typically easier to cook, but I think I'm just nervous. So, so anyway, yeah, you just chop your veggies, and now I have just a big pile of veggies. I have some kale here. You're not supposed to eat the stem, so you just kind of tear it off. I tear it into little bite-sized pieces, and then that's it. I don't even chop it. That's all I'm going to do with this. The shrimp are starting to simmer now. I can see little bubblies forming in the pan. I know this is gourmet stuff here, so, you know, very complicated. I just dropped a piece of kale on the floor. Not going to eat that piece. So there, I have a giant pile of veggies now. Looks delicious, right? So I'm just waiting for my shrimp. Now with shrimp, these were frozen, like I said. You want to swirl it around. You can see them. They're still white. Definitely not ready to add the veggies yet, so I think I am going to pause you and bring you back in a minute. Okay, so approximately a minute has passed. That's really not long. I probably could have left you on and babbled about health and cooking healthy and all that stuff. But my Farrow's overflowing again. So the shrimp are just about turning pink. I don't know if you can see that. I know it's kind of a glare. But they're starting to turn pink, and they're making their own sauce. It's the water from being frozen and the oil that I put in there. So sometimes I like to just do a white sauce. All it is olive oil, and I throw some garlic in there. Today I'm actually going to use tomato sauce. I have my favorite brand here. It's all natural. It's delicious. It's kind of expensive because there's no water in it. So it's all good ingredients. So I just buy it when it's on sale, and if it's not on sale, I just don't have pasta sauce that week. So I won't eat anything else. So I really like that. So you can hear the shrimp sizzling. I don't know if you can see it from there. But now that it's starting to sizzle, there's a couple pieces I can probably flip over. They're starting to get really pink. But there's some translucent ones too. Those still need a minute. So as they're doing that, you know, I get my little tongs out because I will flip these. And as soon as I flip these, I'm going to start adding the veggies. The kale, I chopped up too much and it doesn't cook down that much, but it has to be cooked longer than, say, the mushrooms. But I'm probably just going to throw them all together because I don't feel like paying attention, you know. I mean, I can eat some slightly mushy veggies or slightly under. I actually like them if they're slightly undercooked. So the shrimp are enough now that I can flip them over. When you flip them over, they should be white, not see-through anymore. It should look like cooked shrimp. So I'll show you once I'm done. There's a bunch of them here. That was actually cooked on both sides already. So you can kind of see how they're turning pink and brown. There's a glare, I'm sorry. And I didn't make that many shrimp for me today because I knew I was going to have the Farrow if it cooks right, you know, eventually. So now that I've flipped the shrimp, I'm just going to add all my veggies. I'm just going to throw them right in there. Because another thing about cooking for one, since it's just me, Rob's in New Jersey, I don't like to wash dishes, and Rob hates that I make a lot of dishes. He loves it when I'm home. So I actually, these are all the dishes I used for breakfast. I had to wash them all and use them now. So as you can see, big giant pile of veggies. I'm going to throw that on there and let it simmer. By the time the veggies start to wilt and the, you know, everything, all this stuff, once the veggies are cooked, that means the shrimp's probably done too. You can check it and then add your sauce. And this is basically my cheater way of not having to make anything fancy. I'm terrible at seasoning things. I don't know what to add, what goes with what. I don't know. So and half the time I don't have the season I want anyway. So I like sauces that I can just buy in a jar and put on top of whatever I'm eating, because and for people who don't know how to cook, I just buy it. You don't have to worry about it then. So nothing fancy. Let me check my Farrow. It says 15 minutes. I usually don't let it cook that long because I like it a little hard. If you're wondering what it looks like, I don't know if you can see this. It's kind of like fat rice, I guess. But it's really good. I really like it. I think I'm just going to let it simmer now and cook off the rest of the liquid in there. So, and that's pretty much done. So once the Farrow cooks off and the veggies wilt, I'm done, and I think my video was approximately 10 minutes long, so there's no reason that you can't cook after a long day. I know that you're probably starving when you walk in. I was too, and I had some chocolates that are on the counter over there, which probably isn't the best thing, but you know, it kept me long enough so I could get this ready and cook it and not have to, you know, resort to a frozen dinner or McDonald's. There's a Wendy's. less than a half a mile, actually probably less than a quarter mile from my apartment. I could walk there, and so I could easily do that on the way home, but I don't. You might need to toss your veggies some. I like my mushrooms to be well cooked. Now it's sticking a little bit, so all I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add my sauce now because I want my sauce to be heated up anyway. So I might as well just stick it in now. And that things are sticking. You have to be careful. That's how you burn things. So I'm just gonna pour it in there. I'm not even gonna measure. I don't care. If you need it to be a little more liquidy, you can always add water. It doesn't hurt to add water to your food. You know, you can cook it off if it's too liquidy then, but at least you didn't burn your food. So I actually pulled a bowl out for this, and I'm thinking it might be too small. I've put a lot of veggies in here. And now you guys know where all that food from the produce outlet goes. It goes right into these giant vegetable dinners that I make. So I think everything's done. I'm going to try and plate it for you so you guys can see it. Most of the water's cooked off the farro, so I'm just going to dump that right in my bowl here. You're not even going to be able to see it because it's going to all be on the bottom. I'll show you a shot of it. It's one serving. Farro's kind of high in calories, 170 calories per a quarter cup dry. And it doesn't really expand that much. As you can see, it's really not that much food in there. But I think it's really delicious. But after this bag's gone, the whole Play-O thing, I'm not going to be allowed to buy it anymore. So I'm savoring my little bowl. So veggies are all done. I like them, like I said, a little bit undercooked. See, the kale cooked a little faster, so maybe I could have put the peppers in there sooner. But to me, that's done. And, you know, 10, 15 minutes, we're all done dinner. So I'm going to go eat. I'll talk to you later.